Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka Lauren33. I got another video for you guys today, and today we're talking about Sparking Zero's episode battle. I just finished it a little bit ago, and if you guys haven't already, go check out the Sparking Zero playlist. We have all of the what ifs in there, and I'll probably post a video it'll be like a couple hour long video with my entire walkthrough. If you guys are interested in that, if you guys want to watch it in one fair swoop, or watch a little bit and come back to it later. But in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my honest thoughts of the episode battle mode. Of course, I'll have some gameplay for you guys in the background to enjoy. So I'm going to let you guys know my honest thoughts on this mode. And coming out of it, first off, this mode is incredible. It is far and away, compared to other Budokai Tenkaichi story modes, right? This is easily the best one just from the Budokai Tenkaichi series. The main things that makes this story mode, even though it's not even technically a story mode, but it is story mode, it's called episode battle. The three things that make it different is you don't play through the entire Dragon Ball story, right? You only play through the story from the perspective of 8 different characters. So you skip a lot of the battles from different arcs, because it's not like DBZ Kakarot, or like past Dragon Ball games where you go through literally every battle. Like you go through Yamcha versus the Cybermen, and then like Tien versus Nappa and Chaozu, and then Krillin, Piccolo, and Gohan versus Nappa, and then Goku versus Nappa, and then Goku versus Vegeta, and blah. You don't do every battle. You only play really the major battles in that specific character's episode battle, right? So, like I said, if it's like Vegeta's episode battle, right, and you're on Namek, you're not playing Piccolo versus Frieza, right, for example. Or you're not playing Goku versus Frieza, because you're only focused on Vegeta's perspective and what happened. So, you take out a lot of that fluff. The other thing is, of course, the what-ifs, which we'll get into. It's is what really separates this game. Of course, it's not the first Budokai Tenkaichi game that does what if. They did what ifs in all 3 of the prior Budokai Tenkaichi games. But, this game, they take it to a whole nother level. And the third thing is, you get this really cool thing in cutscenes. And most of the cutscenes in this game, you get to see what's going on from a character's first-person point of view. Something that's never been done before. So, like, for example, when, of course, like, when Raditz is facing Piccolo and Goku, you kind of get to see, if you go down the canon route, you get to see Goku being killed by the Special Beam Cannon when he sacrifices himself with Raditz. Or if you go down the what if route, right, you get to see Goku actually dodging the Special Beam Cannon and actually surviving that fight with Raditz. And you get that for many different cutscenes all throughout the series. There's so many good ones. And so those are the 3 things that separates, the episode battle from past story modes. One thing is, of course, and especially with modern Dragon Ball games, they've done a really good job of basically making the story modes not focused, on just playing through the DBZ story, right? Of course, DBZ Kakarot, that's a single player RPG. You're supposed to go through the entire Dragon Ball Z story. And I will say this right off the bat: if you are looking for the best experience to play the canon DBZ story, right, straight through, you play Kakarot. All right. Like I said, what they do with the episode battle, they focus on the major moments of the series with the characters that they're, telling the story from their point of view. But their focus is more on, like, the what ifs and those big moments. They're not focused on going through the entire story battle by battle, right? You want the full experience, you go to DBZ Kakarot, right? Look at other games, like Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighters. They have their own unique story centered around Android 21, right? A completely different story. Xenoverse is more like you're fixing the Dragon Ball timeline with the power of your own created character, which is completely different, so these games, these modern Dragon Ball games, have done a really good job of not telling, making you have to play through the entire DBZ story, because we've played through it a million times. There's millions of Dragon Ball games. All right, so I just wanted to say that. But Sparking Zero, the way they do it the first person point of views with these cutscenes, right? Getting to feel like you're actually Goku or Vegeta or Gohan or whatever in some of these moments, right? One of the coolest moments is like the Gohan Black what if, or there's a similar moment in the Vegeta what if where you see like Vegeta jumping towards Deborah as they're about to fight, or you see Gohan Black fight jumping at Gohan, or there's like a Goku Black and Zamasu cutscene when they kill Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and you can see the beam struggle and what it actually looks like. Those moments are absolutely insane. There's like a first person moment where when the character transforms, like for example when Goku goes Super Saiyan against Grady Vegeta in the episode battle, you can literally see like the aura surround him and the energy. So you can really they really do a good job of making you actually feel like the character, right? You gotta remember, this is anime. This is not like real life. So of course, being able to experience that is just really really cool. You actually feel like you are those characters in those moments, right? That's what I love about them. And then the what ifs are just on a whole nother level. In the past, in a lot of Dragon Ball games, when you see what ifs, especially in like the Budokai Tenkaichi games, the what ifs are just these like 5-minute quick battles. Like just for fun. But there's nothing too crazy about them. These what ifs are absolutely crazy in this game, and I'm gonna rank them here for you guys in just a little bit. But you literally get the literally it makes sense. Like you coming out of these what ifs, you look at how they frame them and you can see if this actually happened in the manga or in the anime, like if this was the canon route, it would actually make sense. The way the characters act, like their personality. For example, we all know Vegeta from DBZ is way different than Vegeta from Super. Of course, Vegeta, like during the Cell and Android saga, is still, mostly evil for the most part. Vegeta from Super, as at that point had, turned around and become a good guy. And so they really do a good job in the what ifs of having the characters still act similar uh to their actual personalities at that point in the show, right? And the events and the dialogue match up perfectly. The way they did the script for all of these, they did a beautiful job. And that's the Sean Semmel, Chris Sabat, all the voice actors did a tremendous job of making the what ifs generally feel real, like they actually took place, like they don't half-ass them, which is really really cool. So for those reasons, it's why I would say if you want to play the DBZ story like in full, the complete DBZ story, no matter if you're a lifelong Dragon Ball fan or someone new to the series, I would say go play DBZ Kakarot. That's the best way to fully experience the full DBZ story. If you want something different that's not focused on retelling the events of the DBZ story, right, with amazing visuals, voice acting, cutscenes, right, the first person perspectives, right, it's I would say play Sparking Zero. There's a lot of great Dragon Ball games with really good story modes, but this, in terms of alternatives from the main DBZ story, is the one that takes the cake for me. Absolutely, right? I didn't even really talk about the Sparking episodes. So the Sparking episodes are like the special cutscenes that you get, and there's a lot of them. There is a lot of cool Sparking episodes. You usually get them, I would say, probably once an arc, right? And the way they did it, it was animated differently than what you would usually see for cutscenes in the game. These Sparking episodes, they did motion capture. They did actual motion capture for these cutscenes, which makes them look so much more real and way better. And especially in 2024, it's expensive to animate anything. So the fact that they were able to go down the easier route with the motion capture and actually make it look good, it's not bad motion capture. It actually looks pretty damn good for an anime game. This isn't live action, this is an anime game, and they really did a good job with the motion capture. No matter if it's a transformation or a beam struggle or just two characters fighting, right? They did a really, really good job. So I really enjoyed that. But the next thing I want to do here, I want to rank. So I want to rank all of the what ifs, and the way we're gonna do it, we're just gonna do it by character because there are a good amount of what ifs, right? And it is kind of hard just to rank them what if one by one, right? And the way they are, there's two paths. There's like an actual what if that completely changes the story, right? And affects actually maybe future arcs depending on how far the what if goes, right? And then there's like what if endings for like different arcs. So like for example, like what if you know Gohan beat Super Saiyan, or if Gohan beats Cell before Cell's self-destructed, so that Goku doesn't sacrifice himself, right? So there's these short different like what if alternatives that are really cool to see as well, right? And of course, depending on whose what if it is, it completely affects the story and future arcs, or it does the what if changes the events a little bit, but still will get you back on the canon route for the game. So I'm gonna rank these basically based off the 8 characters. So we're gonna go 8 to 1, and then I'll let you know my thoughts why. So let me know in the comment section as well. What were your favorite what ifs? I feel like I know for the most part which ones are the ones most fans enjoy, but let me know in the comment section and let's see which what ifs are the best in Sparking Zero. So first things first, I'm gonna have at number 8. I'm gonna have Piccolo, right? I do want to say one thing I did mention before is Sparking Zero. The one thing, one of the rules is you have to play on default difficulty to be able to get any what ifs or secondary conditions. If you don't, you can lower the difficulty if you're having time. I know, of course, people that have been playing some of the boss battles like Grade A Vegeta, for example, have come across having to actually lower the difficulty, because the episode battle is tough if you play on the default difficulty. Some fights are easier than others, but there are some that are insanely difficult. Like Piccolo has a boss battle against like Cell in his what if that is very very difficult, because Piccolo I'm gonna be honest, Piccolo's not that strong a character. So that's why I'm hoping when we get more Piccolos, when we get the superhero DLC, that that helps, because I love Piccolo, and like I would hate having to play as Piccolo on ranked, because I would get my ass whooped. But way, Piccolo only has one big what if, right? Because of course, remember Piccolo doesn't have like a lot of transformations or things like that. So Piccolo's big what if, there's like in the Frieza saga, there's like if he was survive longer, so like if he was actually able to hold his own against like final form Frieza, but that just leads to the normal path. And then but the big one really is if like at the beginning of the Android saga, when Goku's going up against Android 19, if Piccolo was able to detect that Goku was having a problem earlier and actually stop him from fighting Android 19. Basically, because Goku was a Super Saiyan, his heart virus got accelerated, right? Piccolo in the what if notices this and actually stops, Goku from fighting, and actually takes his place. So that actually keeps Goku's heart virus from coming in as quick. It still sets in later in the what if, which basically affects, Goku training Gohan. So basically, because Goku has his heart virus, he's not able to trade Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber. So he asks his Piccolo to do it for him. So basically, it's like what if Piccolo trade Gohan during the Cell games instead of Goku, And then basically Piccolo fights Cell during the Cell games, but basically he doesn't beat Cell, but he's able to at least hold his own a little bit more. But that leads to Gohan actually unlocking Super Saiyan 2, right? Instead of what happened in the main storyline. And basically all the events are still the same. Goku still sacrifices himself because Cell tries to blow up the Earth. So instead of getting the father-son Kamehameha, we do get the same event, but instead of Goku being in helping Gohan, it's actually Piccolo that helps Gohan defeat Cell during the father-son Kamehameha. So that's really it. So it's not a bad what if, Of course, if you're a big fan of like the Piccolo is more of a father than Goku, you probably love this one. But really, it's the only big what if for Piccolo here, and it makes sense because, like I said, Piccolo doesn't have many transformations or anything like that until later in Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, so it's a cool one, but I put at the bottom of the what if rankings for me. Next for me at number 7 would be Goku Black. So Goku Black's literally his just takes place during the Goku Black arc, and for the most part, it's really just different ways that Goku Black and Zamasu could have beat the Z Fighters during the Goku Black arc. There's like 3 or 4 different ways. Like if Goku Black and Zamasu didn't merge and then merge Zamasu, right? Or if they did, then they actually defeated Vegito. for the most part, it's not anything special, really. But there is a really cool sparking episode where basically they kill. Basically, they never merge into Merge Zamasu, right? And they kill Trunks. So all that's left is Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, right? And then you get this really cool sparking episode where basically Goku Black and Zamasu, basically they kill Super Saiyan Blue Goku in a beam struggle, right? Which of course, as a Goku fan, I hate seeing that, but it's Goku Black's What If, and basically like the narrator leaves it like, oh, they execute the Zero Mortal plan, and we have no idea what would happen because there's literally nobody left in that timeline. Goku Black and Zamasu killed everybody, so we have no idea what the world without mortals would actually look like under Goku Black and Zamasu's rule. So yeah, so like I said, that cutscene alone is probably the one thing I'll remember from Goku Black's episode battle. Right? It's cool to see like the different ways they could have beat the Z Fighters, right? No matter if they were merged or not. But outside of that, it all ends the same with Goku Black and Zamasu winning against the Z Fighters, unless you do the canon route where the Z Fighters won and Trunks defeats Zamasu. All right, so then at number 6, I'm putting Jiren. So Jiren's is very similar to Gohan Black's, or sorry, Goku Black's. It's very similar because basically it takes place in one arc, right? During the Tournament of Power, because of course that's the only arc that Jiren appears in the story. So basically, it's simple. It's basically if Jiren was to win the Tournament of Power. Of course, you could go down the canon route, which has Goku and the others winning. But basically, it's if Jiren, and there's like a couple different paths. Like, what if Jiren, took out, Kale, like during the canon route, or if Jiren decided to leave Kale to the others and not get involved. So basically, the events are pretty much the same. But there's a really, really tough battle. If you do the what if route, where basically Jiren has to take on Vegeta, Goku, Android 17, and Frieza. It's probably the most difficult episode battle in the game. That one took me like literally over an hour to do. It's because literally it's just Jiren, and he doesn't get any health buffs or anything, and so it's a tough one. Like I said, there's some very difficult boss battles in the episode battle. But also at the end there is a what if route. So basically, like if Jiren was the one to determine the power and not, really care about, wishing back the universes, right? If he was to actually get his wish, granted. But there's another really cool sparking episode where basically if Jiren was the one to determine the power and still develop kind of that respect for Goku, right? Where basically he decides to do what 17 did in the canon route and wish all the universes back because he wants to fight Goku again sometime in the future. It's a really cool episode battle or sparking episode, and basically then he has a smile on his face, so he decides to learn the same lessons he did, but he still wins, right? And then basically he tells the Pride Troopers like, let's go home. Our business here is done. So it's a really so basically just to get that sparking episode is worth doing Jiren's episode battle. It's tough because even though Jiren's one of the strongest characters in this game, it is a tough episode battle to go through because Jiren's so strong, the people that you face will whoop your ass. It's on like super hard difficulty. But I have Jiren coming in at number 6. All right, so at number 5, we have Frieza. So Frieza, of course, Frieza's involved in most of DBZ and Dragon Ball Super. So Frieza gets a little more content than, some of the other characters in the episode battle. Plus, of course, most people see him as, the most famous nemesis from all of Dragon Ball, Goku's number one rival ever outside of Vegeta. So basically, of course, you can go down the canon route, which, Frieza losing to Goku and then losing in the rematch, and then Frieza participating in the Tournament of Power. But there's what ifs, like if Frieza defeated all the Z Fighters before Goku could ever do the Spirit Bomb, right? There's a what if, like if Frieza was to defeat Super Saiyan Goku on Namek. They have like an awesome beam struggle where Damian Mills, Frieza's English voice actor, literally kills it, right? So that's one of my favorite sparking episodes. The scene that beam struggle between Goku and Frieza, and then there's also another what if Frieza, or Mecha Frieza was to defeat Trunks and Goku. That's actually a pretty tough battle. Goku in the Yardjet outfit actually will kick your ass in that what if, and then in the Resurrection F arc, if Frieza was able to beat Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta and actually get his revenge. You get a really cool thing because basically Beerus stops Frieza from killing Goku and Vegeta, saying like, "No, I still have use for the Earth." But Frieza does get his revenge, and he makes a deal with Beerus to let him use the Earth's Dragon Balls to revive the Frieza Force. So basically, he brings back the Ginyu Force, Dora, Zarbon, all of them, and even King Cold. So then later on, basically in Frieza's what if is after defeating Goku and Vegeta, Beerus then calls Frieza once again, and he needs Frieza's help to beat in the tournament of power. So basically, you get four different what if scenarios just from this alone, because Beerus allows Frieza to choose a couple members of his team, right? So you basically get to choose either go into the tournament power with the Ginyu Force, Sarmon and Dodoria, King Code, or Cooler. Even though Cooler is not even technically canon, but still, it's a what if. So, and then basically you get like these four different scenarios of Frieza in the tournament of power with those certain members. Like there's like a funny ass one where Frieza and King Code go up against Khalifa and Kale literally one shots King Code. It's like absolutely hilarious, because King Code was never actually that strong, right? I just love the chit. I just loved seeing Cooler actually in the tournament power. That was just such a cool visual. But basically, of course, those are just different scenarios. And makes you just go up against different characters that appeared in that arc. Right? So it's cool. So Frieza, like I said, he gets a little bit more content than some of the other what if characters. I was really debating between him and the next person for the fourth spot, but I just think the person we have at number 4 just had a little bit better what if content. So coming in at number 4 on the list is Trunks. Trunks is what if. So Trunks doesn't have any what ifs from DBZ, right? Of course, because we know he's in a good amount of DBZ. But it makes sense when you think about it. Like there's not a lot of like what ifs you can really do that would have like changed the events of that saga a lot. Especially since Trunks did end up defeating the android in this timeline and and Cell, right? But Trunks' big what if is in the basically after the Future Trunks saga. So basically, if you choose, there's an option that basically Trunks can go back to his timeline, or he stays in the present just for a little bit longer. And basically, Trunks, gets to participate in the tournament power, which is something a lot of us have actually thought about, over the years. Like, what if Trunks had actually stayed and participated in the tournament of power? So, there's basically two different routes. So basically, at first, Trunks thinks, "Hey, maybe if I win Tournament Power and get the Super Dragon Balls, I can fix my timeline. Like I can whisk back everyone that died during the Goku Black arc, the Trunks, and died to the androids all those years prior." But he changes his mindset because he ends up caring about everybody, everyone from the other universes. And basically, he prioritizes, protecting the current timeline more than his future timeline and making a selfish wish. So basically, there's two different paths you can take. You can go with either you can focus on fighting with Vegeta during the Tournament of Power, or or Trunks fights with Gohan. So like his two mentors. If you go with Gohan, you get some cool situations with him and the androids, and basically him trying to accept that the androids are good in the present timeline, and remember that these are not the same androids that cause all that destruction in the future timeline, right? So that's pretty cool, right? And he actually develops like a pretty cool relationship with Android 17 by the end of the Tournament of Power. And then the other what if is basically if you go down the path with Vegeta, you guys team up against Khalifa and Kale, right? So father and son versus Khalifa and Kale, who are like technically sisters, right? In spirit, and basically them going up against Kefla, and then them going up against Topo. So and you get a really cool sparking episode of if Vegeta did like a Galick Gun heat dome attack combo with Trunks to take down Topo. And what's cool about this also is, remember, there's no weapons allowed. Like the attention to detail is so good by the developers here. Because remember, in the Tournament of Power, there was no weapons allowed, and we know Trunks, basically loves to fight with a sword. So basically, what they do is they take out Trunks' sword moveset from Super, and they just replace it with his Trunks' melee moveset. Which is wicked cool. So that means you get to be able to use like Heat Dome Attack, and Finish Buster, in this version of the event. So really, really cool. So those little attentions to detail, and just the fact of seeing Trunks in the Tournament of Power, and the interactions you get to have with characters like Khalifa and KO and Topo is really cool. And that sparking episode with him and Vegeta, the father son team up, is awesome as well. There's also a what if like if Trunks defeated Zamasu quicker, like sooner in the arc as well. But really, because of this Tournament of Power, what if, since it's one that we've always thought about and we actually get it in this game, that's what's gonna get Trunks here at number 4. All right, so at the number 3 spot, and the top 3 are just really, really good, right? And it's like basically the big 3 of Dragon Ball. At number 3, we have Vegeta. Vegeta, the one thing I would say is Vegeta's what ifs are in the Cell and the Buu saga, right? He has 3 really big ones. So, one of them is if he never let Bobby control him, right? And basically, it's so cool because like you get this really cool Sparky episode of him like denying Bobby's mind control, and then he fights Deborah. And then basically that leads to him and Goku fighting at the World Tournament, but they don't transform or use blast because, of course, there's people around and they don't want anybody to get hurt. So Vegeta actually wins, and then but Goku then shows like, oh yeah, you might have the better fighting ability, but I'm still technically stronger, because then Goku shows Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, which he didn't do in the canon. So it's really, really cool. There's another what if, like if Vegeta was able to take down Kid Buu without Goku having to do the Spirit Bomb, and basically this leads to Vegeta and Goku fighting again on the land of the Kais, right? So you get Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, kind of like that what if from DBZ Kakarot. And the other one, which is I think it's the best one, is we get Vegeta. If Vegeta and Trunks were closer during the Cell Saga, and if we got basically Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta during the Cell games, no Goku, no Gohan, and basically we see Trunks kind of sacrifice himself against Cell, but he survives. This causing Vegeta to go Super Saiyan 2. So then you get the fight. So Vegeta early basically has like his Super Saiyan 2 moveset against Cell. And then you get an awesome cutscene of basically Vegeta and Trunks doing a father-son final flash against Cell and working together, right? And like I said, what's really cool about all these what ifs is how they made the characters stay in character. Because Vegeta, during the Cell Saga, he's still kind of a villain at this point in the show. So, it's like he, even though he accepts the help of Trunks, he's still very arrogant with what he says. So it's a really, really cool what if. What they could have done also is, I'm surprised like they didn't have Vegeta like challenge Goku right after they won, because Vegeta is technically stronger than Goku because of this what if. Vegeta unlocks Super Saiyan 2 before Goku and Gohan ever do. So that's a funny one. So like I said, Vegeta's 3 what ifs are really good, and the Super Saiyan 2 one is one of the best ones to me. Plus, there's like a funny moment in the what if where basically Trunks learns the weakness of the Super Trunks form before fighting Cell, so he doesn't make the mistake of thinking Super Trunks is enough to beat Cell because of the raw power, even though he can't touch Cell, right? So I love those little attentions to detail that they give here. But yeah, the only other thing I would say, because you guys are going to see, of course, what we have in our top 2 for what if rankings, is what they didn't. There's no what ifs for Vegeta in the Dragon Ball Super timeline, right? We have what ifs for Gohan and Goku and Trunks, right? But there's no what ifs for Vegeta in this timeline. So one thing, so like for one thing, that's interesting is like we're gonna talk about Gohan Black here in a second. I feel like it would have been sick if we got Vegeta Black in that what if um during Vegeta's episode battle. Like what if Vegeta like I feel like there's some easy ones that they missed. What if Vegeta became Super Saiyan God against Beerus? What if Vegeta defeated Frieza instead of Goku during Resurrection F? You know, what if Vegeta Black appeared? Right? Like, what if? And this is a crazy one, but what if Vegeta defeated Jiren in the Tournament of Power? Like what if they just gave Vegeta Ultra Instinct? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that they could have done. I believe in the Vegeta's episode battle for Super. So one thing I'm hoping is of course when the popularity of this mode and the what ifs are out of this world. So maybe when we get DLCs next year, maybe they'll add more episode battle content. So we can experience more and more crazy what ifs, right? But of course, like I said, that's why Vegeta gets at number 3 here. He's in the top 3. But the ones above him are just a little bit better. All right, so at the number 2 spot, we have our boy Goku. You guys know how big of a Goku guy I am. He's my favorite character in all of anime, right? And of course, Goku has far and away the longest episode battle. Basically, his goes through every single major arc, right? From the Saiyan Saga all the way through the Tournament of Power. So you get to experience all of Goku's craziest battles, from Goku versus Vegeta, Goku versus Frieza, right? It's Goku versus Cell. And then the Majin Buu saga, and then Beerus, Golden Frieza, Goku Black, and Jiren. So and Kefla. So yeah, you get to experience basically every single major Goku battle, right? So, Goku has a lot of like what if endings, and he has like 3 major what if stories. Really, 3 major ones, right? So, like for example, like what if Goku was able to turn Majin Buu good in the Buu saga? So basically, most of the events of the Buu saga don't take place. They also have like what if Goku had defeated Jiren in the Tournament of Power, by himself, right? Um, but of course, like his crazy what ifs are what if basically Goku fought the androids and Cell during the Cell games or before the Cell games, right? So basically, Goku goes out and helps against the androids while Vegeta and Trunks are in the hyperbolic time chamber, and basically, you know, there's no need for like Super Trunks or Super Vegeta or the Cell games. Goku defeats Cell, and then he goes up against the androids, and he basically takes them all on: Android 17, 18, and even Android 16. And because Goku is so different than Cell, or not Cell, then Vegeta, right? He actually kind of becomes friends with them outside of Android 16, because Android 16, is a robot, and his programming, all he's focused on is his programming that states he has to kill Goku. But basically, Goku wins the respect of the androids, and they basically go their separate ways. So the Cell games never happen. Another cool what if for Goku is basically if basically kind of like this power of friendship, if him and the Z Fighters basically work together to beat all the major enemies of Dragon Ball Z. So like if like Krillin, Roshi, Piccolo, and Goku all teamed up to beat Raditz, right? And then basically if they teamed up to beat Nappa and Vegeta, which leads to basically Vegeta coming back to Earth, right? Goku doesn't die until the end of the Saiyan saga. Then he comes back, and him and Vegeta team up to basically take on Frieza. So the events of Namek actually take place on Earth, right? And that what if Goku and Vegeta, they don't even turn Super Saiyan, but it's really cool to see like what if the events of Namek take place on Earth. But far and away, easily, Goku's best what if, and in my opinion, I had to rank all the what ifs. The second best what if in the entire game is Goku versus Vegeta if Goku went Super Saiyan during the Saiyan saga. Right, basically, Greater Vegeta kills Krillin, um, and basically, so the basically Krillin's death happens on Earth instead of happening on Namek, which causes Goku to go Super Saiyan extremely early. He still spares Vegeta's life, right? And then what happens? Goku decides to go to Namek alone to try to go get the Dragon Balls to bring back Piccolo and the others. But what happens is when he gets to Namek, um, basically the only person he faced is Vegeta because it's revealed that Vegeta has also gone Super Saiyan um at the time after his battle with Goku. And what's really cool is basically Vegeta reveals, right, that he was able to take down Frieza and basically all the other members of the Frieza Force, before even coming to Namek. So basically, Goku versus Frieza never takes place on Namek, and instead we get a rematch between Goku and Vegeta as Super Saiyans. And like one thing that sucks is getting like the skin of Vegeta as a Super Saiyan with his Scouter uniform on. You only get this in the episode battle. You don't get to use this in the rest of the game, which stinks, because it makes these what ifs, so much more special because this is the only time you get to see them in these outfits. Um, but basically, what happens is Goku defeats Vegeta again, and instead of killing him, he's basically like, "No, I want to fight you again." And basically, Goku and Vegeta, their rivalry, they get a much more professional and healthy rivalry than what Goku Vegeta had throughout all of DBZ. And they go their separate ways. So Vegeta doesn't come to live on Earth, but still, him and Goku then develop this healthy rivalry together because they're both Saiyans that are focused on becoming stronger and wanting to face stronger opponents. So it's a really cool what if. And then basically Goku still gets to collect the Dragon Balls because there's nobody there to get in his way. So he collects the Dragon Balls and he's able to bring everybody back. So this what if ends at the end of the Namek saga, so it doesn't have anything to do with the Android saga or anything like that. But it is an awesome what if. And literally this was the first what if I played. So to see that it did just end at the end of the Saiyan saga, it actually affected the events of the Namek saga too, is what made me love this what if so much, right? So, yeah, but like I said, I think they did a really good job with Goku's what ifs. They make sense. Um, but being a Goku fan, I could have easily put this at number one. But specifically, there's one what if, and you guys already know which what it is. There's one what if that really puts this game over the top, and that is, and Gohan is in the number one spot. Basically, so Gohan's what ifs, right? So basically, there's if Gohan defeated all of his major opponents and didn't waste time. So if he defeated Super Saiyan or if he defeated Cell without Cell, before Cell blew himself up, basically so that Goku didn't need to sacrifice himself. There's also if Gohan defeated Dabura, so that leads to Boo not being revived. If Gohan defeated Super Boo, which leads to him not getting absorbed by Boo, which basically he becomes the hero of the Boo saga and we never see Vegito. But also that would probably mean that Vegeta stays dead. But far and away the best what ifs for Gohan and the best what ifs in the entire game, in my opinion, are in Gohan's Dragon Ball Super episode battle. So basically, there's one what if Gohan was strong enough to defeat Golden Frieza. So to the point where Goku and Vegeta never come to Earth, right? And Gohan's able to defeat, Frieza on his own. Basically, it's if Gohan was pretty much involved in all of Dragon Ball Super and never was in the back seat. Basically, it's like Gohan was the main character throughout Dragon Ball Super because then you get to see Gohan continue training while balancing, his work life, which is all we ever wanted for Gohan. And then basically, if Gohan went up against hit during the Universe 6 tournament, even though the Universe 6 tournament's not in the game in the episode battle. It's mentioned briefly, and basically the events of that leading to the best what if in the entire game, if Gohan Black appeared and fought our heroes instead of Goku Black. And I absolutely love everything. Gohan's English voice actor killed it here. And the fact that we don't get the skin of Gohan Black to play in the rest of the game, like this would have easily became my main. If Gohan Black was actually in the game, he would become my main so quick. Everything like because basically then when you go back to the Future Trunks' world later on, you see Gohan Black transforms into his own version of potential Unleash, right? Because he takes Gohan's body here, and he knows that Gohan prioritizes power that's not focused on Super Saiyan power. So we basically get a potential Unleash Gohan Black. And then we get to see Merge Zamasu born, but instead of him looking like Goku, he actually looks like Gohan. He has Gohan's hair and everything. So and then basically at the end, you get a father son Kamehameha with Goku and Gohan, similar to what Vegeta and Trunks did, and then at the end you get an awesome sparking episode to end it off with basically Gohan and Trunks doing a double Masenko, and then Gohan sealing Zamsu away with the Mufuba wave. Basically, so in this timeline, you don't have the events of Zeno coming to save the day. You actually get a legitimate ending with Zamasu getting sealed, and then that go on basically saving Trunks' world, which is awesome. This is far and away the best what if in the entire game. Part of me was thinking like, what if we got Gohan the fuse with Trunks or Gohan the fuse with Goku here or anything like that? But still, this was great on its own, especially because earlier in the episode battle, Piccolo teaches Gohan how to do the Mufuba wave. And it's cool to see because Piccolo basically, gives Gohan more confidence that he can take down Goku Black, which has always been a thing with Gohan. Like, he's the strongest character for the Z Fighters with the most potential, but there's times where he either doesn't have enough faith in himself or he just slacks. But when Gohan takes things seriously, he is a force to be reckoned with. So just the fact that we got Gohan Black and then Merge Zamasu with Gohan's hair and that awesome sparking episode and the voice acting is so on point, which makes you believe like this could actually happen. It's incredible. It is incredible. And that's why Gohan Black's episode battle, for me, takes the cake at the top of the list and puts Gohan at number 1 for the best what ifs in the game. But there you have it, guys. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's episode battle. I really, really love this mode. Like I said, if you're not focused on trying to play through the entire DBZ story, this is, to me, the best story mode they've done in a Dragon Ball game, right? And it's going to be hard for me to see how they top this, for real. Like, well, I really hope, like, as we get DLC for this game, maybe we get more episode battles. Like, look at what Xenoverse is doing with their Future Saga right now. And especially because, everybody loves this. Everything from the sparking episode cutscenes to the first-person point of view, right? The voice acting, all of it is amazing. It is amazing. But let me know in the comment section, what's your honest thoughts on Sparking Zero's episode battle mode? How do you guys like it? Where does it compare to some of the other story modes we've gotten in Dragon Ball games? And let me know which one is your favorite. Once again, like I said, we had, what was the ranking? We had Piccolo at 8. We had Goku Black at 7, I think, right? We had Jiren at 6. We had Frieza at 5. We had Trunks at 4. We had Vegeta at 3. We had Goku at 2 and Gohan at 1. But let me know, what are your episode battle rankings and which one is your favorite? Let me know down below. But like I said, we'll have more Sparking Zero content for you guys on the channel. Make sure to check out the Sparking Zero playlist where you can catch my full reactions and my gameplay of all of the what ifs for the episode battle mode, right? And make sure to go check it out. If there's anything you guys want to see me play via Sparking Zero, like custom battles or anything like that, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, we'll get those out for you guys. But leave a like if you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Hit the bell next to my name, Fitzmonk TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. I will see you guys later. Stay safe and healthy, y'all. Peace.